Good afternoon. For the record, this meeting will be recorded. We're all set, Mayor.
All right. We're getting ready to start our regular council meeting. It is February 22nd, 2021, and we're getting our meeting going at 6:37 p.m. This is a duly called regular council meeting of the town of Anthony, Texas, posted in accordance with section 551.002 and 551.041 of the Open Meetings Act of the Texas Government Code. Public participation during the portion of the agenda for public comment is limited to that portion only, except that if the citizen's comments relate to a topic or subject covered under an agenda item, the citizen shall wait to speak until the agenda item comes up for discussion. At all other times during the council meeting, the audience shall not enter into discussion or debate on matters being considered by the presiding officer. Ms. Castillo, can we go ahead and do a quorum check, please?
Yes, sir. Councilman Garcia? Councilman Chavez?
Here.
Councilman Alfaro?
Here.
Councilwoman Flores?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Weeks?
Here.
Thank you, sir. We have a quorum.
All right. Moving on to item 4, open forum for the public, limited to 2 minutes. Ms. Castillo, do we have anybody that requested to be signed up in open forum?
No, sir. Nobody requested to be in the open forum.
Okay. Moving on to item 5, review and action on minutes of regular town council meeting November 9th, 2020. Do any councilmen have any questions, any comments? Do I have a motion on the table?
So move to approve.
All right. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right. Seconded by Ms. Soledad Flores. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion will carry unanimously. Item 6, review and action on minutes of regular town council meeting February 8th, 2021.
I just have a question. They have me as being absent, but I was actually present.
Okay. Ms. Castillo, would you be able to take note of that at the time of Mr. Chavez
Yes, sir.
joining the meeting?
Yes, sir. I make corrections for that.
Okay, so at this moment, do I have a motion to table the minutes for
Motion to
meeting
table.
February 8th?
Motion to table?
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Weeks. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right,
Aye.
motion to table carries. Moving on to item 7, discussion and consideration and action on the following new business. Item 1, discussion, consideration, and action on a resolution by the town of Anthony transferring $12,183.64 from contingency line item number 6166, general fund, to election expense line item number 6151. Ms. Castillo.
Yes, sir. As you could all see in the package, there's a resolution. We got confirmation from Anthony ISD that they will not be hosting or having an election for this year. So with that being said, we were going to be paying the full amount of $21,763 with 64 cents. We had budgeted $10,000 for elections, with like we have done previous budgets. Assuming that the Anthony ISD was going to have a combined election, a joint election. But since that's not happening, we will have to transfer the full amount of $12,183 with 64 cents from contingency to the general line item for election.
Okay. Any questions or comments from council? If there's no question or discussion, do I have a motion on the table?
A motion to approve?
Okay, motion made by Councilman Chavez. Do I have a second? Do I have a second on the item? Seconded by Councilman Weeks. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion will carry.
I will need a roll
And
call,
do you
please.
need to do roll call?
Yes, sir. Mayor Pro Tem Weeks, Councilman Garcia,
Yes.
Councilman Alfaro,
Yes.
Councilman Chavez,
Yes.
Councilwoman Flores.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Moving on to item 2, discussion, consideration, and action on payment arrangement policy for the Anthony utility bills. As you guys know, we were able to utilize the CARES Act funding to help cover residents with outstanding water bills that weren't able to financially make the necessary arrangements to take care of that through the CARES Act. And that covered their bills from March 2020 to December 2020. And what we have right now, since it's January and February, we are coming up in March. We do have, I think it was 42, Norma? Or how many people are on the list that owe?
42, yes, sir.
Yeah, about 42. So El Paso, Electric and some of the other utilities made arrangements for payment plans with them. One of the things we wanted, to let residents know is that a lot of those utilities, they're going to owe the full amount from March to December. But here at the town, we went ahead and covered that expense through the CARES Act. So they're going to be owing from pretty much January through March. And we're going to give residents the opportunity here with the utility bill payment plan agreement to basically I propose that we give them 3 months to break up the outstanding bill into 3 payments. There is some criteria that they have to meet. They have to still be in good standing. They can't be late or, miss a payment from here on out. And basically, get them up to par and caught up within those 3 months, and that'll be added on to their monthly bill.
I think Mayor's having technical
Just
difficulties.
get that going. But
Mayor,
yeah, I know. I think, let me see. I don't know if it's just the phone or what, but I'm not on the Wi-Fi, so I think it's just my phone having some technical difficulties. But if at any time it cuts out like that, Ms. Castillo, if you can go ahead and just,
Yes, sir, you're lagging again. We lost you again, Mayor.
On over with the just.
Mayor, we lost you. We can't hear you. Okay, give me a second, everyone, so we can go see what's happening with Mayor's connection.
No, let me see. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes, sir.
I think what it was is because this one was on such low battery. That's why it started dropping. Sorry, it's because the other phone was on 3%, guys. Sorry about that. Continuing on with the item, Ms. Castillo, go ahead.
Yes, Mayor, just like you were mentioning, this is going to be to help residents that are past due for the bills of January and February. Like you mentioned, one of the qualifications will be they have to be in good standings with their current month to avoid this agreement being terminated. This is going to help everybody to catch up on those 2 pending bills and be up to par with their account.
Awesome. Is there any questions or discussion from council on this payment plan agreement?
Yeah, Ben, is this only for the residents, or is it for the businesses also?
It's for everybody on our water utilities, anybody, including the businesses, correct, Norma?
Correct, sir. Anybody that's past due for January and February will be able to apply or sign this agreement to try to help them.
Norma, on those businesses, like the big businesses, like well, which businesses are on there? Because obviously the Pilot, La Feria, Big 8, all those were still in operation. They should be able to pay the bills. Those aren't on that list, are they?
I don't have and I can't disclose who's on the list, but we will be reaching everybody that's on the list and stating that they have this opportunity and it will be offered to anybody. Even though where businesses were open, sir, I believe a lot of businesses were harmed by the pandemic, not having sufficient sales or having, low sales. So I believe this should be offered to everybody, if they were open or not.
Yeah, but we're talking about big businesses. I'm sure they had an impact, excuse me, but not as bad as the other businesses, the smaller businesses, because they made big progress, even though they were slow.
Because like we can't really disclose that information. Some of these may not technically even be on the list. This is just for individuals that are behind, that we're given an opportunity. So it's equal and fair across the board. If they are behind, to have the opportunity to set up a payment plan. Ideally, within the next 3 months, to 4 to 5 months, everybody should be caught up. Any other questions or comments?
I get what you're saying a little bit, Eddie, but what we could do is, if you're worried about the businesses, we could take all businesses out. And just something to think about. If you wanted to make an amendment, you could do that. I think the main reason that this was brought up is because people were already starting to question and comparing it to, was it El Paso Electric, Ben? And saying, well, El Paso Electric is giving us longer to pay our past due, but people with El Paso Electric in El Paso hadn't paid since last March, and here we use the CARES Act money to forgive any past due debts all the way through December. So if anybody's late, they're just late now 1 month, and it's trying to get them back on track. But I understand what you're saying, Eddie, and if we want to consider taking the businesses out, we could do that.
Yeah, I just don't want. I just don't want it to not help out the smaller businesses. You know what I mean? But it's like you said, if we have to take all the businesses out, well, that's.
Honestly, I think the way it is it's just equal to anybody who's behind. I don't think we have to necessarily complicate this any more than what it's going to be for our girls. So basically, if they're in fact behind the 2 months, which, like we said, some of these businesses might not even be on there, but we just wanted to do across the board and give this opportunity to everybody to be able to try and get caught up. That way we can get everybody in good standing and current with their water bills and move on from there, because we need to get back on track. The water revenue, everything needs to get back on track, and we got a lot of work to do this year. So we just want to go ahead and get started with that. Any other discussion, comments? Do I have a motion on the table, if any?
I motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. Alfaro to approve. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Councilman Weeks. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Moving on to item 3, discussion, consideration, and action on appointing a reserve officer for the Town of Anthony, Texas Police Department, presented by Lieutenant Oswaldo Gomez, since Chief is out at the time being. Mr. Gomez?
Yeah, he's out. I talked to him. He's still in the pain, but he said he's doing a lot better, so he'll be back soon.
Good.
Yeah, I want to present a gentleman by the name of Jesus Villarreal. He has experience. He's from Culver County, and he was looking to move over here with us. We decided to take this issue as a reserve for now, since we want to try to avoid issues like the one we had last council meeting. So we want to give him a chance as a reserve so we can kind of gauge him, see where he's at. And we do have one full-time opening still. So we want to ask permission to bring him in as a reserve for now.
Okay. Is there any questions or comments from council?
This is all right with the chief, right? With him coming in because I know we need that officer.
Yeah, it's okay by the chief, HR, and the background investigator. I'm just presenting it on his behalf. This is what he wants.
And how about the officer? He's okay with that also?
Yeah, he was made the offer, and he accepted it as a reserve for now.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions from comments from council, or do I have a motion on the table?
Move to approve.
I'll
I
second.
have a motion made by Mr. Weeks, seconded by Councilman Chavez, to approve appointing a reserve officer for the town of Anthony, Texas Police Department. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously, 5-0. Moving on to item 4, discussion, consideration, and action on resolution amending the water leak credit adjustment policy adopted by town council in resolution number 2020-35-1012. Mr. Palomares, would you like to touch base on this?
Yes, of course, Mayor. Mayor and council, this policy was, there was an amendment that's being made to it for you all to consider, of course. It's not approved, obviously it's on the table for consideration from you all. But the mayor had asked to make an exception there for sewer bills, the sewer charges for any leaks that occurred that didn't go through the sewer system within the 24-month period. As you all may recall, in the initial policy, someone can request an adjustment for water and sewer charges that occur, and it's only for a 24-month period. In other words, they can't come back within 24 months and ask for another adjustment for another water leak. However, the mayor wanted, in all fairness, he's proposing that there be an exception made, and not for the water charges, but for the sewer charges, because I mean, if the water's not going through the sewer system, then the fair thing to do is not to charge a customer for that charge. Again, if you looked at the policy, it's only for 30% adjustment. As you all may recall, the initial adjustment that's made with it for the 24 months of water and sewer is for 50%. So the city basically covers 50%. The customer gets a 50% adjustment. In this particular case, for the additional sewer charges, it would only be an adjustment of 30%. So, Mayor, I believe that covered it, unless you have something else to add.
Yeah, no, most definitely, Henry. And the reason why we want to also move forward with this, guys, is, when we're basing, the sewer rates on like the average and winter averages, sometimes somebody can get a leak that can actually the sewer and stuff can negatively impact, their overall sewer rate. So being able to, make these necessary adjustments, I think would be fair to our residents in regards to the way we charge, for services. And it has been something that has been long brought up and a concern to some of the citizens. So I think at this moment in time is the perfect time to pretty much put this policy in place. That way, we can, charge accordingly. Any questions, any other comments from council? Do I have a motion on the table?
Motion to approve.
A motion made by Councilman Chavez, seconded by Councilman Garcia to approve the resolution amending the water leak adjustment policy. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously, 5-0. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Roll call, please. Mayor Pro Tem Weeks,
Yes.
Councilman Garcia,
Yes.
Councilman
Yes.
Chavez,
Yes.
Councilman Alfaro,
Yes.
Councilwoman Flores.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Moving on to item 5, presentation on first financial budget quarterly report. If anything, the way we used to work with our, finance liaison, Mr. Weeks, I was wanting to, open the pretty much floor to Ms. Castillo or Mr. Weeks, if they'd like to make any comments regarding our quarterly budget report. If not, we'll let David take over and pretty much present.
I would just tell everyone, all the council, that, in the income section, we want it to be over 25%. If it's less, then we need to take a look at that. And in the expense sections, we want it to be 25% or less, especially payroll and items like that. If it's over, then we might be overspending. But then also, if it's way under, we might want to question that too.
Yes. And has council had the opportunity to go through the budget and take a look at where the percentages were at? Ultimately, from what I'm looking at, a couple of things that I'm looking at overall aren't really too bad looking. Nothing that's causing any major concern. And I think we're doing overall well with the overall budget where it's currently at. David, any comments?
I guess the only comment I have is that you all approved last fiscal year to switch from QuickBooks desktop online to desktop. That's already in place and it's working properly. I just wanted to mention that.
Thank you, sir.
Ben, if I can, I'll draw attention to a few things.
Yes, sir.
So on the water sewer, which is the 2 pages, we are doing well with our income for water and sewer, where we played it a little safer. And if the numbers hold to where they're at, we should be at about 108 to 110% on our water income. And we'll be about 120 to 125% on our sewer income. So that'll be a plus. I would question on, I got the wrong page. I got page 1 of 2 twice, so I kind of screwed that up. But I would question on the SUDA tax and the because I think the SUDA, we might want to double check with comparing general fund and water together, because these are supposed to be representatives of based off of our budget for the salaries and wages. And it's, whatever we pay into salary and wages, certain things go to SUDA tax. And we're at 36% there, where on the general fund, we're at 14%. So I wonder if we don't have that mixed up a little bit. It's something I think we should review. And then on the general fund, which I have all 3 pages, thank goodness, we are doing well with we've gotten a majority, almost 90% of our property tax in. But remember, guys, that, November, December, and then we'll have some January will be these, we'll probably pick up the rest, and then stuff trickles in after that. So after this last, from December 31st to now, we probably won't be getting too much property tax in. It is a little, we do need to watch the line item 4610 court fines, because we're at we're supposed to be at 25%. We're at 16%. But David, you had a good reason for that, and I wanted to make sure that you told the council, or David or Norma, why our courts are down, or the income is down. Remember when we had our meeting? David? Or Norma, do you remember? Okay, anyway, The reason,
Yeah,
how many courts did you close? Like they didn't have court for like a month
2
and a
months.
half? 2 months.
2 months, sir.
Okay. Okay. So, and then again, I do want to double check the salaries line item 6,100 because it shows we're supposed to be at 25%. We're at 16%, and that's quite a dip. Other than that, I mean, like I said, if anything in expenses is over 25%, we may want to question that. And then one other thing that we talked about, David, Norma, Ben, is the capital improvement line item 7,000 on page 3 of 3, that's supposed to be 20% of our deposited monies from 4010. But I think David or Norma said that we actually made a larger deposit right after December 31st, like the first week of January.
Mhm.
So that's why those numbers don't, that's why line item 7,000 isn't 20% of line item 4010.
Mhm.
Other than that, I don't have anything.
Any questions from council? No? All right. Then at this point, I guess that closes our presentation on the first financial budget quarterly report. Moving on to departmental reports. Streets, Mr. Jaquez, anything to report, sir? You're on mute, sir.
He's asleep.
No, his computer. I don't even, there you go. Click on it again. Nope. Basically, I guess his mic's out or something for the moment, but basically, you know, everything's moving forward. These guys were doing potholes this past weekend. They did some of the ones going up into the Heights, but closer more to the Love's truck stop. We have a larger one that opened up, so we may have to keep an eye on that one to send in. TxDOT did contact us. They are looking to turn over the trees on FM 1905 over to us, because with the new project coming in, you know, as I've been keeping you all updated on, they are needing to remove all the landscaping to widen the road and add the bike lanes and sidewalks. So, you know, we're looking to put some documentation and stuff and send it to them to be able to take over the trees, since it was federally funded through TxDOT. But basically, we're going to look to replace some of the old ones on Wildcat, and then also just add some of the additional foliage to the municipal parks. Other than that, for streets at this moment, that's all we have to report. On Parks and Recreation, once again, Mr. Jaquez, you want to try and talk, or is it?
Can you hear me now?
Yep, there you go.
Okay, we haven't had a lot of complaints on potholes, but since the weather was bad, you know, of course, Job and nobody else would make any hot mix. So once the weather holds, we're gonna be patching up. I understand we have quite a bit of potholes on 4th Street coming in from New Mexico. So if there's any more reports for people to call us and let us know where there's more potholes so we can fix. Okay, so we're gonna be scheduling for this coming week and the next. Okay.
And one of the things that we could do also, Ebert, if next guy that's on routines in the evenings, if we can take a tally and mark all the burnt out street lights, because we're actually having a significant amount. And then I guess we'll get some follow up on what's the status with the park lights as well, right?
We got some of them on already, sir.
Okay, good.
I drove through it, and as a matter of fact, the ones here in Wildcat, they're the ones on the north side of Wildcat from like the 4th Street all the way to Donovan. They're out. The north side only, though. Okay. I know you guys have noticed. They've been out for a while as well. I've been trying to reach someone to come out here, but I couldn't hear. Nobody has reached out to me, to be quite honest.
Okay. No problems. Moving on to police and fire. Lieutenant Gomez.
Let me make sure I'm not on mute. Okay. I don't know if you guys remember last meeting, the chief told you we were in operation in State 10. The operation was going to be from Anthony all the way to downtown El Paso, different agencies. El Paso PD, I believe the constables. Just have a quick total. Between the agencies on that day, 192 stops were conducted, 154 citations, and 3 arrests. I guess one of those arrests came out of our agency. Also, that food distribution still going on every Thursday. We have it from 8 to 10 o'clock, along with the guys from the town crew. And then lastly, we're scheduling an auction for the first Saturday of next month, which will be on the 6th. And hopefully everything goes well. We're gonna have a vehicle auction at the Empire. And that should be it for us.
All right. Thank you, Lieutenant Gomez. Water and sewer.
Yes, sir. We had some people come out here on the well. They're actually the electricians working on the panel and on the radio for communications for well number 2, sir. So it's up and going. We're still waiting for the pump, but at least we're moving forward on it. Okay, so just so you know. And we've been having some issues on the sewer plant. A couple of the floats burned out, and one of the pumps were having issues. So I had to go out there over the weekend, over the night, but we managed to get it going. And we going to speak, and I called an electrician, the gentleman that we usually called, and he was mentioning to me there's other type of pumps which actually 1/3 of the price, the ones we're paying right now. So, with your blessing, I want to go ahead and just try them out, see how it works, and hopefully, because he says he puts some other entities and they've been working fine. So I'm going to try one of these out, and we can drop the price by more than half.
I mean, especially because when they burn out, it's always a costly penny to try to replace them. So
these pumps are $10,000 and they don't warranty them, And we'll try a new pump. Supposedly it's a way better pump, a way better built pump, and it's exactly like the one we have right now, which is the ones we have right now is Flight. And Flight, it's super expensive. Even the floats are super expensive as well, and it gets costly, sir. So if I can want to try one of those out and bring a cost down on it, we can definitely. Okay.
Yeah, most definitely, sir. Definitely.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Okay, moving on to courts, Ms. Castillo.
Yes, sir. I received the report for the courts for next month. We have the last court hearing is going to be the 24th of February at 10 a.m. and at 2 p.m. And they already have the set court hearings for March, which is March the 10th, March the 17th, and the 24th. And that's all we have, sir, for courts.
Okay. Moving on to finance. We already discussed our quarterly budget report. So there's nothing left to add to that. One of the things I did want to reach out under administration, unfortunately, she was not able to join the meeting, but we have Marisa Quintanilla, basically with the Hospitals of Providence Trans Mountain campus. We're trying to establish a partnership with them and with the Hospitals of Providence Trans Mountain campus. And we want to assist them in identifying and registering what we consider super seniors, which are elderly residents that are 75 years and up, who reside within, Canutillo, Westway, Vinton, and here in Anthony, Texas, and are interested in receiving the COVID-19 vaccine. So they've been reaching out to us in hopes and assisting them with the initiative. And we are going to start working with our local police department to help identify some of these seniors that fall within that criteria. That way we can go ahead and get them scheduled to receive the COVID-19 vaccine. So, that's something that we're going to be working on at this moment in time. But like I said, Ms. Marisa Quintanilla wasn't able to join on the meeting this evening, but I did want to share that with you guys. So, we'll be putting a list together and hopefully, spearheading this initiative here in our local region. So we'll be getting that knocked out. Other than that, I don't have anything else to add under the administration. Does anybody else have any questions or comments? Okay. If there's no questions or comments, the next regular council meeting is scheduled at 6:30 p.m. on Monday, March 8th, 2021. Do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Move to adjourn. And motion made by Councilman Weeks, seconded by Councilman Chavez. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Thank you very much, guys, for joining us in the meeting. You all have a great evening, okay?
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you, you
Thank
too.
you, guys.
Bye-bye.
Gomez, can you hear me, Gomez? Something was going on with Mike. Can you guys hear me? No?